Alright, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are live in full effect right here, right now. We got another phenomenal talent. We got the one and only Jay Waiters live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right, DJ Moore. How's it going?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good down here in Canada, man. Just dealing with this COVID crap so far, man. But hope everything is all well on your end, man. I see that, the United States is actually pretty well opened up now, man. I want to say congratulations on that.
Yeah, it's opened up, but, I still try to remain safe. I stay out the way, kind of move, real low-key still, if you know what I mean.
Hey man, most definitely. COVID's a serious thing, man. You know what I mean? It most definitely took a lot of people out, man. And it's good to see that. Good to hear that you're actually keeping safe through all this crazy madness.
Yeah, most definitely. Same with you, man. I'm glad you're safe and everything's going well.
But I want to ask you, man. I want to take you back to the very beginning of your amazing career, and I have to ask, man, like what actually inspired and sparked the amazing career of Jay Waiters?
Oh, well, my mom, I give a lot of credit to her. She started me in church. I started singing very young at the age of 3, and she kind of put me in front of an audience, and we're here today. I started singing in front of like 500 to 600 people at a very young age, so, me being stage frightened or anything like that, that went out the window very early.
When obviously you said you were young when you first got on stage when you were a little kid. Were you stage frightened, or did you just go out there and rock the house right off the hop?
Well, since I was, a growing little lad, I really didn't know any better. I was just singing, I was just in a joyous state of mind, and I was just having a good time, you know what I mean?
And also, man, in 2018, you were actually one of the headliners at the Southwest Summer Jam in Las Vegas. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners about that phenomenal event. And of course, what was it like actually headlining such a huge event out there in Nevada?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Out there, a lot of artists came from all over. We came together and we put on an event for Boy Entertainment. And we brung out some great artists from everywhere. And he reached out to me because I did a show there a couple years before then. And he reached out to me and we made some things happen. I have a little fan base out there. I go out there back and forth here and there. And, I have a lot of love for Vegas. I'm back and forth all the time and also have family there. So that's my ties with Vegas.
And I have to ask as well, because like we brought up a few moments ago, how like the U.S. is starting to open back up. Do you currently have any shows that you're planning on doing? And if so, like, can you tell our listeners a bit more about them?
Well, right now I have some shows that I'll be doing here in Dallas just to get my feet back wet. I live in Dallas right now, and I have some shows coming up in Atlanta also. That's pretty much it for the moment here in the next 3 months. But I know I should be in L.A. and New York early on next year. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed because before COVID, a lot of shows had opened up for me because I just started getting to the radio stations and getting out there pretty good, and boom, COVID came out of nowhere. It was something new.
It definitely was a backhand, man. The COVID was definitely a backhand to the entire music industry, man. It actually, man, it shut down New York City, man. It finally made New York City sleep after hundreds of years, man. So, you know what I mean? It's definitely a crazy virus.
Right, exactly. New York was free for a while. They're back crawling now, but you're definitely right.
And also as well, man, we actually got connected through MJ's Hip Hop Connects out there in New Jersey. I was wondering, how did yourself and MJ get connected? And of course, what is it like having a phenomenal publicist like her?
Man, MJ is phenomenal. I got connected with her with her through my management, DJ Kwan and T-Rex, known as Louis Gray. And I was trying to take my music to the next level, and they heard my music, and they know what I was going through, and MJ was the right person. She's so professional. She makes sure I'm on top of my game if I'm slipping. And she's just a good all-around person, man. She really cares about the artists, especially the independent artists that's really grinding and really care about their craft, man. So shout out to MJ. Much love to her all day, every day, man.
And I gotta say as well, man, and I'm not just saying this because she's actually one of the radio station's sponsors, but she is an absolute machine, man. I'm telling you, I don't think she knows how to stop working, man. There's times that she's up at like 5 networking, and it's like, damn, like, I'm a crazy worker, but like 5 a.m., I don't know how I could network at 5 a.m., you know what I mean? I don't even think she's human, you know what I mean? Not in the most nicest possible way.
Right, right. I agree. I agree. MJ is always on top of it. Same with me. She gives me in the morning, midday, nighttime. She wants the artist to be the best. If that's what you want for yourself, as far as success. So MJ, she's on top of her game because she wants to be the best and she wants to be at the top. So any artist that's out there that's listening, hey, my advice is go holler at MJ. Real talk.
And also, as well, in 2019, you actually dropped the phenomenal album titled Choir Trap. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that phenomenal record. And of course, where can we actually snag ourselves some copies today?
Almost deaf. Choir Trap was pretty much a mixture of me being in church and the environment. In the environments I grew up in Chicago and Dallas. And I kind of wanted to give a blend and also put some positivity and some messages out to the fellas, you know, because sometimes our fellas can be kind of negative. So I kind of wanted to give a blend with that. Choir Trap is still out there on all major platforms. You can purchase it. You can stream it. It's out there. It's out there for the people.
And I have to ask as well, do you happen to have any hard copies available as well? Because I do know it's a fairly couple-year-old record, but our listener base still loves that hard copy format. Do you still have hard copies available of Choir Trap?
I can actually do that. I have some here at the house, but I can actually put those online for the listeners and for the people if they actually want it. I can definitely do that.
And you were also featured on C.J. Watson's song X-Rated along with Pat. I was wondering, how did yourself and C.J. get connected? And of course, what was it like just being in the studio and conversing with him?
Well, me and C.J., we've been knowing each other for a while. Actually, at the Las Vegas event, I was headlining, and we both came from Dallas, but we didn't know each other at the present time. C.J. originally moved from Seattle. And I actually met him in Vegas. Once we chopped it up in Vegas, we came back to Dallas. Me and him we've been like brothers ever since. So we kind of work on music, work on songs, projects, bounce ideas off each other. So me and him have a real strong relationship.
And also as well, I actually noticed that, aside from the music here for a moment, I noticed as well that you were actually in the United States Army. I gotta ask you, what actually made you decide to join the Army? And of course, can you tell our listeners a little bit more about that experience?
Almost definitely. At that time in my life, I was trying to find myself. I was singing, of course, and I really know in the music, people in the industry that kind of helped me and lead me. So at that time, I was just trying to find my way. I was a young man. I was trying to make sure my life was on the right track, and I joined the military to kind of set myself straight and give myself some discipline. And I did my 6 years, got my honorable, and I'm out, and I'm living my dream pretty much.
And I gotta say as well, thank you so much for serving your country, man, and of course, you know what I mean, helping to make the world as free as it possibly could be today, man. So just thank you so much for your service.
Oh, man, it's an honor. It's an honor.
And also as well, you have a phenomenal song out called Rear View. And I gotta say, that's the one song that really actually made me drawn to your craft. I have to ask you, well, what is the story behind that phenomenal song? Because just the meaning behind it is so inspirational.
Well, Rear View, I came up with that a long time ago. It was actually something pretty much me and my friends came up with. We was trying to put things in the past, and we wanted to come up with a song that it was different, but at the same time you can relate to it. So long story short, we kind of sat down one day and we were vibing in the studio, and we kind of expressed ourselves in a music way, and today we have Rear View. Yeah.
And also, you actually teamed up with the one and only John Jiggs for the single Walk a Mile. I was wondering, how did yourself and John get connected? And of course, what is it like working with a phenomenal MC like him?
Man, John is he's a big bro to me, man. It's been almost a year and a half, 2 years now since I met John, if I'm not mistaken. Man, me and John Jiggs, we met in Atlanta. I was actually in Atlanta recording some songs and doing a couple of features for some artists. And he had an interview with DJ CKOR on the mixtape show, if I'm not mistaken. I was actually there, and long story short, we kind of connected in. I had this song that I already wrote the hook. But I told him, I'm an MC myself, but I prefer to sing. And I told him I checked out his work and everything and following his craft. And I said, man, if you don't mind, getting on this record. And he was like, man, I actually love the record. I needed something like this to express my situation. And he said, I never had a record like that. So we made it happen. And we also got some other records in the future also coming too. So, you know, that's the big bro. He kind of guides me, let me know what I need to do. And he just let me know to stay on my game.
And I gotta say as well, John is a phenomenal, talented individual, man. I believe I had the opportunity to interview him. I want to say July of last year, so almost a year ago. But such a phenomenal, very professional individual. So definitely shout out to John Jiggs if he happens to tap in for this interview.
Most definitely, dope cat, dope lyricist, man, definitely.
And on June 4th of this year, so not that long ago, you actually released your self-titled EP album. I have to ask you, man, can you tell us a little bit more about this phenomenal record, and where can we actually grab ourselves a couple copies today?
Well, the EP, yeah, it dropped on June 4th. This EP is basically for the people, like you said, you know, dealing with COVID-19. And I wanted more love to be in the area and in the environment and in the air, if you know what I mean, because there's just been so much heat going on. So this was more for the people right now, so you can dance, play some music in the backyard, barbecue, or just, you know, just be me amongst family, you know what I mean? So I dropped that June 4th, and it's about eight records on there. And so I have a few old ones on there because they're favorites, but I also have a lot of new ones on there also. So I want everybody to go check that out. It's some real R&B on there. What we're missing right now, you know, people are not expressing themselves, and definitely a lot of fellas are not expressing themselves right now. So definitely go check out my EP. It's on all major platforms, and if you need the hard copy, I will send that to you also.
So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Either you get it or you most definitely will regret it. This right here is a phenomenal EP, so make sure you snag yourself a copy today.
Most def.
But I gotta ask you, man, what is next for the one and only Jay Waiters, man? Like, is there anything we happen to miss? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote while we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves?
Most def. You'll definitely be hearing more music from me. You know, the EP did just drop, but I'm also working on my project called High Wings. So I'm getting in shape. I'm working out. I'm doing something for the ladies, you know what I'm saying, but also something for the fellas so they can take their ladies out and also have a nightcap. So I'm going to put something out real sexy, a long project. I'm working on that right now. So definitely be looking for me and Triple D R&B and the group. We're coming real strong.
And also as well, Jay, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves, just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to, but most of all, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything Jay Waiters if they're not already doing so.
Most definitely. You can reach out to me or find me at Jay Waiters Music, JWAITERS Music, on all platforms. You need to book me, you need to reach out to me, want to work with me, hit me up. I'll definitely reach you back within 24 hours.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Jay, thank you so much for just taking the time out of your busy evening and sliding into the 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM airwaves. It was an honor and definitely a privilege, man. And hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon.
Most definitely, Jay Moore. Thank you for having me on your platform. Thanks to the whole Outlaw Radio family for having me. And definitely do this again.
Most definitely, man. You are most certainly welcome, and definitely have yourself a wonderful night.
You do the same, bro.